I got nothing. I mean, is that not the most fitting way for the season to end? I mean, we've talked about it before, right? We've said like, hey, that kind of feels like the end of the year. Ooh, that loss feels like that might be the dagger. But nothing could poetically sum up the season more than that 10th inning. I thought Victor Robles' base running error last night took the cake. I mean, this one just beautifully sums it up. Actually, thank you to the Seattle Mariners because you could not perfectly have one play that just sums it all. Our emotions, our frustrations, our anger, our disgust, our the psychotic laughing I'm doing right now because I can't believe it happened, yet I can totally believe it happened. I mean, it's perfect. Perfect. Nothing sums up the Mariners season more, and there's no more fitting way for it to end than that. So I mean, thankfully, I mean, good job by the Mariners. It's a perfect script written. They did it. I mean, they found the most perfect way to sum up not just this season, but the organization as a whole since the 70s. I mean, there it is. How many times I said, "Oh, that game sums up the Mariners." Nope, that 10th inning right there sums it up. Everything about it. Send that video out. There's your Seattle Mariners. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners losing 10-1. They fall to 77 and 75 on the season. Ironically, I just hit on the box score and it's the wrap, and that kind of feels like a wrap on the season. That 10th inning, what on earth is Julio doing? Listen, I get the bat. For those of you that didn't see it, Mariners had first and third down 2-1 the bottom of the 10th inning. Randy Rosarena's up. Now, I want to say one thing. Don't let, I'm going to go after Julio. That Randy at bat was awful. It looked like the Yankees were even playing back, willing to concede the run. So Randy does not go without blame here, but Rosarena strikes out, throws the bat, not intentionally, but lets it go. Listen, Julio's getting out of the way. The bat almost hits Julio. He gets out of the way and just starts sauntering off the base, and the Yankees throw down and get him out. It makes Victor Robles' base running decision last night look like a masterpiece. I can't even fathom what this team is doing. I can't. Had they just lost 2-1 and struck out in the 10th, I was going to talk about how great Bryce Miller was and what a great season he's had. Pitching was dominant. Justin Turner has truly been really good. He hits that game-tying home run in the 8th. He's been everything you've needed him to be at first base for the Mariners, at least offensively. Just boneheaded mistakes, the self-inflicted wounds by this team. I can't even break it down. Just atrocious. I mean, did you see Manny Acta's reaction? Even he's like, what are you doing, Julio? Like, come on. And it's so funny because I'm sitting there talking to some of my fellow content creators there. I'm like, hey, at least 10th inning, you got Julio on, you got good speed on the base path. So, Cal gaps one here or bloops one in, you should be able to score. Now, of course, he bloops it into left field. Julio can only get to third. And then it's like that. I mean, it's just, I can't even, I've never been at a loss for words. And this team is just dumb. I'm at a loss. I wish I cussed more right now because they'd be flying. I'm not even that mad. Like I said, I mean, I saw it. I just went, yep, that about sums it up. You can't write a better script for, I mean, if you had a Disney movie based on the Yankees, that's how you'd win the World Series. That's Henry Roland Gardner pretending to throw the ball in the air and throwing out the idiot trying to run the base for some reason. I mean, that's what that is. And the Mariners do it in real time, in real life. Did I ask you guys to like, comment, subscribe? Please do so. This is the worst post-game recap ever, but I mean, I need to put the raw emotion out there. I don't know what else to say. The Randy at-bat was atrocious too, because like I said, they're probably willing to give up that run there and tie it. I mean, even if you tie it, I don't know what you do in the 11th with Soto and Judge and all the guys coming up, but I mean, just atrocious. And it wasn't just that. I mean, that sums it up. But all game long, Justin Turner's big clutch hit in the 8th. The Mariners had, I think, 6 out of the first 9 innings had the leadoff man on base and couldn't score a run. outside of the 8th, and Turner didn't even lead off the inning. But 6 of the other 8 innings, you had the leadoff man on base, couldn't get another run. So it goes far beyond one base running blunder, which was a hilarious way to sum it up. But it was atrocious all game. And the reason I'm bringing that up, I'm not going to let the rest of the team off the hook for this either. Another script, right, where Bryce Miller, the starting pitcher, fantastic, and the offense lets him down once again. Just this time, they managed to get him off the hook for a loss and get him a no decision. It's the same stuff all season, and it's a very poetic finish to it for me. I'm not out. I will still be here with the post-game recaps, but I am out as far as them making a run. I've talked about the standings. I've still been like, hey, if you can win this one tomorrow, you're right here. I can't anymore. You had a chance to gain ground tonight. I talked about it yesterday where I said you can't afford to lose ground anymore. I did say you can afford probably not to gain ground, but you can't have a night where you can gain ground and you can let it and you don't do it. You can't have those. There's 10 games left. You're 5 back in the division, 3 back in the wild card. I mean, I even said yesterday, they might have to run the table. And it looked like they might win this game for a little bit. I was going to say, hey, here's step 1 to running the table, I guess. But I'm out on it. I mean, if they do somehow win 10 in a row and get in, great. Like, I'm a fan. I'm rooting for them the whole way. But I'm not going to talk much about the standings anymore. It's just pointless. I'll try to focus on some of the good tight. I thought Bryce Miller really was fantastic. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. I'm okay with those 4 walks against this lineup. Anytime you hold this Yankee lineup to 1 run over 6 innings with Soto, Judge in that lineup, you have done something correct. So kudos to Bryce Miller. And throws, I think, 106 pitches tonight. I like Dan sending him back out there for that 6th inning. What a battle by Bryce Miller. What a season for Bryce Miller. And this was a guy that I really wasn't sure about. Had a tremendous rookie year. I've talked about it ad nauseum, but tailed off a little bit at the end. And what a second year for him, developing those secondary pitches. His ERA now sits at 3.06. I mean, there's a chance his ERA is going to be under 3 this year. With a better season, better run support, I mean, a dark horse Cy Young candidate. I mean, that's how good Bryce Miller has been this year. And what a step forward. What a step forward for the young man. Super pumped up to have him in this rotation next year, and so excited for what the future holds for Bryce Miller. Once again, as we've said 50 times this year, a starting pitcher deserved better. Bullpen was great too. Troy Taylor was dominant. Munoz was really good. Colin Snyder was fine, right? He gives up the ghost run in the 10th. Listen, you give up 1 run in extra innings as the home team, you should feel pretty good that you still have a chance to win this. And the Mariners did everything right up until the pickoff in the 3rd. Cal dumps one in, runners at the corners. Even a double play probably ties the game in that situation. But, Randy strikes out, horrible at bat. And listen, Julio's getting out of the way of the bat. I understand that, but I have no, at least with Victor Robles last night, I can at least, Julio's is worse. One, because it was in the 10th inning and literally cost them the game, or at least cost them the chance to tie it up. Robles is at least trying to make a play, right? Robles is at least trying to spark something. It was boneheaded, but it at least was the right intention. Does that make sense? It's sort of like the player in football that runs so hard and runs past the running back or something to make a tackle. Like, it's bad, but at least it's like aggression and they're trying. Julio is the free safety that was, or the kid in Little League that was picking the daisies in the outfield. You're like, dude, come on, play a little ball here. That's just no awareness of what's going on. I've never seen Manny act like that. He's sitting there, almost look at his face like, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't have anything else. Perfectly sums it up. There's almost that part of me, it's like, I hope they don't win out and get in somehow, because I want that to be the lasting image of the 2024 Seattle Mariners. And I'm not trying, you guys know me, I'm not trying to sound like this super negative fan, but does that not perfectly sum up the Mariners? Your friend goes, hey, Seattle Mariners, I've heard of that team. Can you describe them? Yeah, let me pull up this play real quick. Boom. That's the Seattle Mariners. Have a great night, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. This recap stunk. I'm sorry. Like, do you want me to break that down more? Bryce Miller was awesome. He deserves better. Justin Turner's been a really solid acquisition. Not his fault the team's going to get in. Julio with one of the most boneheaded plays I've ever seen. And don't let Randy off the hook for that strikeout either. Like, comment, subscribe. Me and Mariner Sir will be on tomorrow. Go M's. God. Peace. Fitting. So fitting. Love you guys. Peace.